What's good, guys? Fantasy Joe back here with my quarterback league winners. Check out my other league winners. Hit that subscribe button to stick around for all my in-season content that will give you that edge over your league mates, help you win that fantasy title, buy lows, sell highs, start sits, all that stuff. Super important. If you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section down below. I'll respond as always. Comments really help out the algorithm, so do those likes, so please help me out. Let's get our first quarterback league winner. It's Justin Herbert. Let's take a look at some of his advanced stats. Things I love about Herbert, the passing volume that he has, 699 attempts, second in attempts last year in the NFL, has a great chance of leading the NFL in attempts this year. They bring Kellen Moore over in his 3 seasons in Dallas. They finished as a top 6 offense each season. They also drafted Quentin Johnson in the first round. That adds another pass catcher. Obviously, last year, too, 25 passing touchdowns compared to 31 his rookie year and 38 the next year. I think this was mainly due to a lot of injuries on the Chargers, including Justin Herbert, who broke his rib in week 2. They lost their left tackle, Rashawn Slater, who's very good very early in the season. Keenan Allen missed a ton of games. Mike Williams missed games down the stretch. And like I said, Herbert was compromised himself. That compromised his rushing ability, which has been pretty solid for fantasy football so far. I expect that to bounce back. I really like Justin Herbert. He's got a good schedule, and like I said, he's got tons of passing volume, great weapons, a really good offensive line, a great play caller. A bunch of things are going his way, and when you have that type of passing volume, there's no reason you couldn't have a 5,045 touchdown MVP-esque season in him. And you can draft him currently in drafts in the 5th round, 6th round, even in some leagues. I love that value, getting that guy who finished last year as a QB 11, but you're drafting him as a quarterback 7, who I can think could easily launch himself into the top 2 at the position. That's his upside. We look at 2 years ago this season. He finished as a quarterback 2 overall that year, averaging over 23 fantasy points per game. We've seen him do it before, and I think he can make a leap from that form we've seen him be in even previously. And like I said, if you take a look down at some of his advanced numbers, not really advanced, but the rushing output, half as many rushing yards as he had the year before, no rushing touchdowns. I think both those bounce back, and they could bounce back even higher than they have been before. Justin Herbert is an absolute league winner at the quarterback position. My next league winner, and this one might surprise you, it's Kirk Cousins, Kirk O'Chain. It is the man himself. And let me break down some of his advanced stats and show you why I think Kirk Cousins is going to be such a value in fantasy football this year. Let's just start with his last campaign. You see the passing volume, you see that massive increase. He had the 4th most passing attempts in all of football, 4th most passing yards as well last year, but only threw 29 touchdowns. I say only, when you look at the percentage, 4.5 compared to his previous seasons, 5.2 average for his career. In year 2 in this pass-heavy system, I think Kirk Cousins can improve. He finished last year as a quarterback 7 in an excellent campaign for him, and I think he can take that next step up in year 2 in this system. Like I said, you get a ton of passing volume. They go out, they draft Jordan Addison in the 1st round to replace an aging Adam Thielen. I think that gives him a boost. He'll have an entire year of TJ Hawkinson. He obviously got him, they acquired him partway through the season last year. Also, the best receiver arguably in the game, and Justin Jefferson, resides in Minnesota. I think that he can make an absolute big leap in his overall production. Maybe not the same, finish as a quarterback 7 again, although I think he can definitely, finish as a quarterback 5, and where you're drafting him currently going as quarterback 14 in drafts, I think that's an excellent value. If you miss out on those top 7 guys and you want to take somebody later in the draft who has top 5 potential, I think Kirk Cousins has it. Now, can he finish number 1 in the position? I don't think so, but I do think he could finish, 5 to 8. And when you're drafting somebody double digits, QB 14, that's a massive return on your ADP, and you're stacking wide receivers and running backs, maybe even a difference maker at the tight end position in the meantime. That's why I believe in Kirk Cousins headed into this next season. My next QB winner, and this one might surprise you, it's Anthony Richardson. He's being taken very late in drafts. Sometimes you can get him in the last round undrafted. And while I don't think he'll necessarily be a good NFL quarterback in year 1, I don't think he will be. I think he can still produce for fantasy football and be a guy that gives you those monster weeks from time to time, and a guy with the rushing output that he's going to have can have steady weeks in the meantime. I think he's a poor man's Justin Fields when you look at the draft costs. Anthony Richardson is more of an honorable mention in this, just because I don't think he can ascend to, maybe not necessarily elite quarterback production, but I think he can be in that next tier. He's extremely raw. that's something that needs to be pointed out. He's not really a ready NFL quarterback, but I do think he's going to play a lot based on how the Colts have talked. The draft capital they invested in him with the number 4th overall pick. He's also a freak athlete. That's why I have this page pulled up. 4.43 40-yard dash. It's 99th percentile. And then when you add in the fact that he's 244 pounds, 6'4", has a rocket arm, I think he's going to run the ball at least 10 times a game. He averaged over 5 yards a carry at Florida, and that's when you add in sacks as well. He's a good scrambler. We've seen him look good running the ball in the preseason. I think he's going to do a lot, and you have 10 attempts as a quarterback. He could easily average, 7 yards an attempt, something like that. That's 70 rushing yards a game. That is a massive increase. He doesn't have to have the most passing volume. I think he's a guy who as well can have double-digit rushing touchdowns. There's no Jonathan Taylor. It's looking like for the Indianapolis Colts. They're going to have to lean on this guy. He's going to have to make difference-making plays. And while there might be some ugly picks and, games he might come out of at some points, I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. I still think, like I said, even if it's ugly in the NFL, it can produce for fantasy football, and he's a late pick, so that's why he's an honorable mention in my league winners for quarterback. If you guys have made it to this point in the video, please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you have any questions or comments, drop them in the comment section down below. I really appreciate it, and it helps out the algorithm. Check out Running Back League Winners is already posted. Wide Receiver League Winners is posted. Values are out. More videos coming soon, so hit that subscribe button. I will see you guys soon. This has been Fantasy Joe. Thank you guys for watching.